Ah, Joe Mishkin, it's wonderful to meet you. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important. I know how busy you guys can get.
It is.
So
Well, first of all, thanks so much, Will. It's great to meet you too. And you're right, it is a very busy time for us. But I'm always happy to take a break and talk with you, brother.
now, how do I refer to you? Are you a artistic balloonsman, or are you a balloonist, or are you? How do you describe what you do?
Ostensibly, I'm a balloon guy or a balloon artist, balloon man, a twister. But I consider myself more of an entertainer, artist, than a balloon man. So I don't know. That's
Right
just. But what I look like, balloon guy.
now, you're being disparaging about your looks, but you look fine to me. I think you look similar to me, but with more hair.
As long as I crop that right here, I've got more, and then it's like, oh.
So I just have some preliminary questions for my files, if that's okay.
Sure.
Where did you grow up?
Not far from where you grew up. I know we're both Midwest boys. I grew up in Indianapolis and went to college at Bloomington at Indiana University. So I had to become a balloon man.
But where did it start? Because, I mean, when you're a child, you like balloons, or what happened? I mean, there was something that happened to you that made you think, I want to blow these balloons up. I want to twist them. I want to do things to them. Where did that come? Where did that
Yeah.
come from?
Well, I was really, my first love was magic, and I became a magician when I was just a kid. I would do shows for neighborhood kids and eventually started working at a magic shop and professionally performing as a magician and a kid, pretty much. And during those years, I met a lot of these balloon artists, these twisters, and excuse me, and I was just so impressed with what they could do. And I just said, hey, man, I want to learn. I could learn how to do that. And just we actually sold the supplies at the magic shop, so I just picked up an instruction book, bag of balloons, and just never looked back. I'm pretty much all self-taught with everything I do. If it's something that I'm interested in or passionate about, I'm just going to learn how to do it. You know.
What's the most difficult balloon shape you've ever had to make? And how long did it take? And how did it feel to make it, etc.?
Well, I'm not one of these guys who makes those big elaborate sculptures that take days to make. I primarily specialize in going as just really as quickly as possible, but because a lot of times, I'll be out at a company event and there's just tons of kids and you gotta go fast. But I also balance, speed with high quality balloon art. I mean, it's tough because they're really fragile, and so I try to make really durable, really creative balloons, but I don't try to make them really difficult. It's not. I'm not trying. I always try to
Yeah,
work smarter, not harder. So for
right.
me, I prefer like abstract art, like crazy hats and the hats that you can like connect to your arms, like space astronaut suits, and they're not complicated, but the great thing is that I can be very creative. I've been doing this for decades, and yet with this abstract art, I can constantly come up with new designs, even after all those
So,
years.
so it's a new life for you in a way. I mean, to be able to take. And by the way, what's the longest balloon you've ever worked with, if you don't mind saying?
Uh, Probably 70 inches long.
Is that right? Well, that's not the information I've received.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure which notes you got.
What are your favorite restaurants?
My favorite restaurants. Restaurants. I'm a big fan. We have this. I live in Portland here, you may know, and we have this. There's a place down the street called the Observatory, and they have this little bar in the back. that serves the same food as the restaurant, and it's delightful. My wife and I love it. We go there far too often.
Is there is there a certain diet that you take on to make these balloon animals or shapes? I mean, or is it just like I can do it on an empty stomach? I mean, what
I,
happens to you
I
when you do this stuff?
well, I try not to be tired and hungry, tired or hungry, but both is not a good, not good. You're dealing with kids, so you don't want to be tired and hungry, So, um, I there was a time, years ago where I was vegan, but nowadays, and I know you're a pescatarian yourself, um,
Uh, Not
but
to be pesky, but
yeah,
yes,
no, but
that's right.
no, you got to have your values, but I pretty much just, try to just, it's, I don't put enough thought into it probably, I just try not to have an empty stomach when I go to work. So,
Now, I know that you aren't necessarily trying to be difficult, but there are some shapes, some balloons that you're willing to not make. I mean, where do you draw the line? What type of things won't you make into balloon shapes?
well, obviously if you're working with kids and families, you're not going to go R-rated or worse. And even when I work with adults, it's not really, I can be entertaining, anyway, just doing the same thing I do. With families, I don't have to really get dirty, so that's kind of nice.
But I mean, but wouldn't you say that the first shape of a balloon, blowing it up, looks phallic? It
It
looks in itself. So, I mean, do you try to quickly twist it into something else so people don't get the idea or the wrong idea?
No, I
What
mean,
happens?
there's just some people that are always going to be stuck in preschool and kindergarten, and that's what they're going to think when you blow up a balloon. That's on them.
Now, what's the most balloons you've ever blown up in a day?
Good Lord, honestly, I've found over the years, like, there's just some things I try not to think about. Like, if you ever see one of these guys and they're just constantly looking at their watch and they're bored and they want to be done, that's not professional. Like, I don't think about how much longer do I have to go or how many have I done or what. I It sounds cheesy, but I just focus on doing the best job I can do. And also I know, like, I just know that if I just put my nose down and work hard, eventually, I'll be done, and I, feel really good about the work I did. But I don't sit there and, you know, opine about, oh God, how much longer. It's not at all. And I actually really love my work, so it's trippy. It's like it's kind of like stepping into a time machine, because you'll have a 3 hour gig. It'll feel like 30 minutes, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's
Where
nice.
does the joy come? Does the joy come from blowing up the balloon? Does the joy come from twisting it into something? Or does the joy come from handing it to someone and seeing how they react? Is it a
That's it.
combination of, or is it the last one?
Yeah, that's the best is seeing that their joy and their parents' joy, and just everybody just lights up. And and it's nice because every kid has a special moment. We have a special moment where we get to interact for a minute. They waited their turn, and then it's all about them, and then they get what they wanted and they light up, and it's really nice. And yeah, it's not for me, it's not really about the balloons per se. It's that moment, that connection, and that interaction and that joy. Because I do those gigantic bubbles now too, those beautiful bubbles. And man, that everybody loves bubbles. And boy,
That's true.
it's so great.
I love bubbles.
Yeah,
I really do.
I know. I do. I've always loved them, and I can't believe it took me this long to get into it, professionally.
And what is it about you? Excuse me. What is it about you that likes balloons? I mean, do you dream of them? Do you have nightmares?
I
How
u-
all encompassing?
years ago, I used to dream about twisting, when I was trying to sleep, and I would be twisting all night, and that's awful. That's the worst because you're not sleeping. You're just freaking out. You're working all you work it, you know what I mean? Like it's awful. And thank God I don't that doesn't happen anymore. I think that we alluded to earlier about working smarter, you just get into a zone. I don't know. You do something long enough, and you will get good at it, and
Have
so a
you
lot.
ever had to have you ever had therapy based on this type of work or what?
I
No,
I
you just
I have not based on this, no, but it's almost, it's pretty therapeutic, on its own because, like I said, you're constantly talking with people you've never met before, and interacting, and you never know you never know what's going to happen. So, but it can be very therapeutic, especially like those bubbles. I mean that's practically a meditation. So,
now wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You put bubbles in the balloons
excuse me.
or oh,
Sorry.
what
No, no,
is
no.
it? You put
So they're two separate things, but it's funny because people are constantly using the wrong word. They're constantly calling my balloons bubbles and the bubbles balloons. I'm sorry, Will. I'm so sorry. I need to take a quick break. I've got my allergies are acting up today, and I
no,
feel
go ahead, take a
yeah.
break. I'll keep talking. Come back when you
Okay.
can.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
brother.
Joe Mishkin's allergies are acting up. I wonder if he's allergic to balloons. Probably not, or he wouldn't be in the business for so long. What a fascinating world, and what a fascinating life to be able to create these balloons. I mean, you're not creating the balloon itself, but you're creating a shape after it's blown up. I have so many other questions, but right now he's probably blowing his nose, and well, here he comes. He's having a little bit of a drink. Are you back? What are you
Just
putting your hair
about.
back?
Just
Now,
about.
what is it? Is it the pollen in the air? Are you allergic to balloons? I was
I'm
asking
not.
that.
I'm not allergic to latex. A lot of people, not a lot, but some people are allergic to latex, and it's so funny because nowadays um, there will be entire school events that won't happen because one kid has a latex allergy, which obviously you don't want a kid to get sick, obviously, but I think also that they already know they have latex allergies, so it's just always
But
weird.
how powerful can latex allergies be? I mean, if you rub it on your face, or you rub it on your arm, or you swallow one of the balloons, I could see that being an issue. But just straight up latex, I mean, why would something get canceled for a
Well,
rash?
yeah, I think it's an overreaction. I mean, you know where we are now. I'm gonna start sounding like the old get off my lawn guy, but and I'm not. It's not like that, but I don't think we need to cancel the whole event or whatever. Like this, all the other kids could get balloons, but I guess they want everybody to be included, maybe.
Now, do you blow the balloons up yourself, or do you use a blower?
Not not so much anymore. I I blew up balloons by mouth for like the first 8 years that I did this, and mostly because I thought it looked cool. It was like ego, but it's not healthy. It's not. It's you can't. It, it's just hard
Why
on the
isn't
body.
it healthy?
Well, it's just
Why isn't it?
they're really hard to blow up, and you're stressing your body immensely doing that over and over again, like just to look cool. It's not.
It's an ego thing. Yeah,
I
it's
think
almost
so.
like lifting weights, right? It's like lifting weights for someone who's artistic. It's not easy.
I
It
mean,
takes
but
time.
at least lifting weights has some benefits. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's any benefit to blowing up the
Now,
balloons.
have you always been married since the time you started blowing up balloons or making balloons?
Have I
Have you
always?
been had? I'm just wondering if you ever got chicks using
Oh,
using this technique.
I mean, I don't know if I ever got chicks because I was doing balloons. You're not exactly like looking for chicks when you're making balloons, but I think that you know, uh, people appreciate when you're confident, when you carry yourself with confidence, you know, and when you are good at what you do. I think that's attractive. So I'm sure it hasn't hurt.
Have you ever had
And
someone?
I am married now. Yes, I have.
Well, no, I just
I'm
I
sorry,
was
the
just going
video
to
cut
say,
off. Could you say
have
that
you
again?
ever had someone come up to you? No, it's still going. It's still going. Just not showing up on the monitor. Have you ever had someone ask for a balloon, but you ran out of balloons, so you couldn't make them a balloon?
Uh, Sorry, the audio was cracking up. Has anybody ever asked for a balloon inside a balloon? Is that what you said?
Have you ever had a situation where somebody asked for a balloon and they wanted you to make a balloon shape, and you didn't have any balloons left?
Dude, no, oh no. Sorry, man. Wait, I think I just lost you. Yeah.
Have you ever made Have you ever made a balloon? Excuse me. Have you ever been asked to make a balloon, but you couldn't because you don't have any balloons left?
Oh, I usually have balloons left. I mean, honestly, I'm good. I'll tell somebody no because I'm done. You know, so somebody hires me for 2 hours, and those 2 hours go by. I'm gonna tell people no. You know, I don't have to be out of balloons. I'm just good at saying no. Or, you know, I mean, you know,
Right.
somebody's
Have you ever said, but have you ever said I'm out of balloons even when you're not, but you just wanted to get
no. In fact,
off the
to
job?
be honest with you, I hate when people lie on my behalf that say, "Oh, Joe's tired, he has to go," or "Joe's out of balloons," or no, 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 no. I'm not. I could keep going for days. I, you know, I don't like when they say that stuff. It's like they hired me for 2 hours. The event's over.
Right.
No more balloons. I mean, I just don't. I just uh, with this line of work. I mean, you'd be surprised. Like it's really straight talk with people, and there are constantly learning experiences that come up. Like you know, kids misbehaving, or you know, and you can be like, hey, you know, you can work through issues. You know, you think it's just balloon animals, but it's not. I mean, it's a lot more going on. You know, it can.
Well, listen, you keep giggling. I think that you're laughing at me, but that's okay. I
No,
don't mind.
no,
No, but be honest. Are you laughing at me? Do I sound funny?
no. Will,
What's
listen,
your
dude. Hey, I I wasn't gonna do this, but if you want, I've been working on a speed balloon of trying to make a balloon really fast,
okay?
and I just want to see.
You want to do you want to do one? Do you want
Yeah,
to talk? Can you talk as you're doing it? Can you explain it as it's happening,
yeah,
or
yeah. So I
because the people at the audio listeners?
yeah. So okay, yeah. So I basically I'm holding up. I've got these. I have two different balloons. One's blue, one's yellow, and basically I've been working on making the balloons quickly. I don't have my. Oh, I was going to tell you about the cool air pump uh, that I built. It's really cool. So I don't have to blow them up by mouth, but I don't have my air pump with me right now. So we're going to go old school. So I got a little banana here. We'll get this other one blown up, and you see, and can start the timer and see how long it takes me.
Uh, okay. Okay. Go.
Okay, done. Look at that.
That was
Yeah,
under 15 seconds.
yeah.
And
No, that yeah,
is that a monkey?
yeah, that's right. Thank you, Will. It's a monkey holding a banana. and that took me 2 seconds.
Now it's a blue banana. I mean, it's a blue
It's a
monkey and
blue
it's a yellow
monkey.
banana.
It's a blue
But
monkey.
do people say, listen, I've never seen a blue monkey and it's not accurate? Can you make me one that's brown? I mean, do you have brown balloons?
I do sometimes, yeah, sometimes, but I I just tell them, hey, there's blue monkeys in my ballooniverse, so
Is that, oh, Ballooniverse. Have you ever thought about doing a book or a tour or,
oh yeah.
some sort of production?
I've thought about I've thought about a book. I think it'd be kind of cool to because like I said, all those interactions with people, like maybe a book about how to be a good audience member or how to get a balloon animal, you know, like
No, wait, let's go back. Let's go back a sec because you said how to be a good audience member. Tell me some of the things that people do that don't help you and don't help the cause and make it difficult.
oh, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me like how many people just try to cut the line and and kind of teach their kids that that's okay, and it's like it's not okay. And or somebody will come and try to bribe me after I'm done. They're waving money at me in front of their kids, again teaching their kids how to be essentially how to be little shit dicks. Can I say that on?
It's fine. I think you can say shit dicks.
Okay.
It's okay.
I mean, we'll find
I
out.
actually would rather you say shit dicks more often.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
word.
So, I mean, just, or, like kids will be kicking each other or what. I mean, or say something really inappropriate or do something really nice. It's not always something they do wrong. It could be something that's praiseworthy. And in that case, you say, hey, wow, positive reinforcement. Like, wow, look, I'm really impressed with how you just handled that. It's just amazing because it's not just balloons. There's so much humanity involved too. I
Has there ever been a balloon that you've created that you just didn't want to pop or let the air out of, that you just had to keep intact? And
I
if so, how long did that last,
I
keeping that
did.
balloon?
That's so funny. Years ago, I made a balloon, and what happens is if they don't pop, they just start shrinking. They just start shrinking, but they'll keep their shape. If you don't touch them, they'll shrink, shrink, shrink. So I had this balloon, and it shrunk, and I put it in a little jewelry box, and I kept it at my parents' house, and I would just look every couple of years at, open it up, and it would just be this little teeny weeny shrunken parrot in a swing in this little
Oh,
box. You could keep
wait, was it a teeny weeny or was it
it.
something else?
Well, no, it started out, full size, but
A full size weenie.
no, parrot.
Parrot. A parrot with a
Okay.
weenie. A teeny weenie
Well,
and a parrot.
not
I'm only joking around. I hope I'm not offending you. I
not
know
not at all.
how busy you guys can get.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I imagine you're pretty busy too these days. You got your hands in any cool projects you could tell me about?
No, I have my hands in some ice water,
Oh,
actually, because I hit the closet. I couldn't open it. It was one of these new California closets,
mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't budge. So I got upset and I punched it.
Were you? Oh, oh! I thought you accidentally whacked it. You now you practice yoga
Well,
every.
I did. I After I punched it, I accidentally whacked it.
But wait, so you practice yoga every day? Doesn't that help, like relax you to where you don't want to punch things,
No,
or it was?
it just gets me to a point where I can function, and it's not easy looking like this, you know.
Oh, I feel you.
Well, I'm a character actor from the 60s, 70s, 80s, so you get the idea of what it's like to, become someone else, but at the same time, you have to become yourself at times. You have to be yourself.
hmm
So it's it's a log jam.
It's a balance for sure. A log jam.
It's a balance. So what's next for ballooning and what's next for you in ballooning?
Well, So what's next for me is doesn't hasn't been involving ballooning so much. Like as I said, it's when there's something that I'm just really interested in, passionate about, curious about. I just teach myself how to do it. And lately, I've been learning how to be a sound tech engineer, and running sound at venues, helping out bands and performers get their sound beautiful, recording it, remixing it. It's
Didn't you
been a
just
hoot.
work
It's
with
great.
Ditto? Didn't you just work
I
with
did.
Ditto on a show?
I I did. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it's actually already starting to happen. When people like Ditto were reaching out to me, it's just such a huge compliment. And I mean, it's not like I've been doing this for years. I don't know. I just feel really
Well,
lucky. Just really lucky.
I'm sure he appreciates you too. And the work you've been doing has been amazing. Not only you create sound,
Thanks
but
so
you
much, Will.
create shape.
I've really
You
enjoyed.
create sound, you create shape, you create texture. And, it goes
That's right.
sometimes um, on deaf ears and deaf eyes that they don't see what the essence of what you're doing is because you're bringing joy. You're also enjoying the joy because you're creating the joy. So you're inside the joy. And it's
Hmm.
just joyful to see you. You're a very nice guy. And what is the length of hair that you usually keep? Because I'm looking at a little bit of a mop
Yeah.
on your head. Do you like to go short? You like it longer, like a beatnik
I
thing?
I like it long. I used to have just tons of hair, like just tons of hair, and then there was a small period of my a time where I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep entertaining or not. I was like, and cut my hair, which I do regret having done that. And then I noticed, man, I'm starting to go bald. So I started to embrace the bald thing, and I would just keep it short and close, and then I think it was with the shutdown with COVID and all that. I was just like, I'm gonna start growing my hair back out, and I have been loving it. I mean, I've missed my long hair, and it's just so much fun. I like it. I like letting it
It's
like
great. A
letting the
lot of
freak
people like
flag
it
run.
long.
Yeah,
A lot of people like it long.
your hair looks great long. I love it.
Let me say it one more time. A lot of people like it long. Of
Oh,
course, I'm talking about balloons.
yeah.
Let's keep our heads out of the gutter, shall we?
Please.
So, what's next for ballooning? Now, let's just take ballooning on its own. Will it change? Will the game change? Will the balloons change? Will the
Uh,
audiences change?
I I don't think the audience will change. The industry itself it, it moves at a snail's pace. They're slow to innovate. They don't seem to have any balloon twisters on the board of directors. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals where it's like I feel like if I was in charge of that balloon company, I'd probably do things a little differently. But they did recently come out with a nice shiny balloons. The real shiny ones that are like those. What's that guy's name? This Coons or whatever, the sculptor that does those real shiny. So now they have these balloons. So it's like it's life imitating art because they didn't have these balloons before the guy came out with those dogs, and now they have these really shiny balloons, and they're real nice.
But
So
are
that
they
that
shiny? Is the chemicals in them that are different? Or maybe are they
um
just shiny? How did they get the shiny without some sort of backlash?
yeah, I'm legitimately not sure, and they all the balloons are biodegradable too. So I'd be curious, like are the shiny ones just as biodegradable, or because they're all made out of latex, like I said. So that that's one of the reasons they're so hard to work with. You get hired outside on a hot summer day, and your medium is melting. It could be really frustrating. It's like
Do you always keep balloons on you? I mean, do you always have a couple in your pocket?
No, sir.
You don't take your work with you.
No, no. I've been ballooning now for I think 36 years, and I just there's so much other wonderful stuff in life to do, and as much as I loved my ballooning on the job, when I'm not doing that, I'd rather not be doing that. There's a lot of other stuff I can get into, so yeah.
Well, you're a very interesting person, and I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
taking the time to answer some of my questions.
Thank you.
So, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, how would they do that? And is
Uh,
that cool?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, check out my website. It's my name. It's joemishkin.com. JoeMishkin. And that has everything on it you could ever want and more.
Wonderful. It's so nice to have talked to you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And maybe we'll meet again. And maybe you'll make a balloon animal for me in person.
I would love that. I would absolutely love
Wouldn't
that.
that wouldn't that be something? Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
Thanks so
Joe
much for your
Mishkin,
time, brother.
thank you very much. Joe Mishkin, our guest today. I'm Willem Dafoe, and I hope you have a wonderful night or day, whichever one you're on. Goodbye, everybody.